Hi, this is to answer the following questions. First one, I still haven't got my period back. It's been more than 1.5 years. Does that mean that I eat not enough calories? Does that has to do with not enough fat in my diet? Let me know, please. One, if you go to your evaluation, I have underlined there in general remarks that your endocrine system is weak, with weak parathyroid, thyroid, adrenal, and pituitary. And that's a good indication that they are lymphatically compromised because you are feeling cold, or at least at the beginning of the protocol. You have a low blood pressure, fungal issues. You also know that you are lymphatically backed up because of the lymph nodes that remain swollen all these years, okay? And you must understand that when we talk about the lymphatic system, and we say that the lymphatic circulation is sluggish, it means that the lymph is not only acidic and toxic, but also viscous, okay, like a gel, with notable problems of elimination. We might call it diseased lymph. Elimination has to happen thoroughly through the skin, sinuses, lungs, throat, colon, and kidneys. All these organs of elimination, when they are congested and if they do not train you enough, and the elimination is not at its fullest capacity, it ultimately affects all the other systems in the body, congesting them progressively. That means every time you have to eliminate something and it's only partly eliminated, and I'm talking about the toxic load, the one which stays, it will initially fill that elimination organ, and then this toxicity will migrate in the other organs, okay, and systems. That is what has happened with all the systems in your body, including your endocrine glands. In order for you to be able to drain the lymphatic system, you must unclog the elimination system, the elimination channels, which are, again, skin, intestines, kidneys, sinuses, lungs, and throat. When nothing is happening notable in those areas of elimination, the key points for elimination, everything else is around it is clogged. So if you have had a history of congested head area, throat, chest, then you know that your thyroid, parathyroid, and pituitary gland, which is behind your eyes, are clogged. All right? So what you have to do is to work the other way around. The way you manage to clog them, you have to unclog them. Pituitary gland, before going to the pituitary gland, let's talk about, since we talk about the lymphatic system, how do you know your system, your lymphatic system is clogged? You either removed your some of your draining organs like tonsils, appendix, yeah, or you are excessively, you have a skin that is excessively dry or excessively oily. You had a history of dandruff, brain fog, poor memory. You have been vaccinated, and I'm not talking only about COVID vaccines. You have, you can have any of those or all of those. Hair loss, some skin issues like eczema, fungal issues, weak bladder, urinary infection, cystitis, cold and flu, bronchitis, pneumonia along the ears, boils, pimples, eczema. Then you also have to take 5 to 10% into consideration what you have inherited from your ancestors, especially when you talk about detoxification organs like liver, intestines, kidneys, endocrine glands. Do you sweat enough? That's also lymphatic. You may sweat, but if you don't sweat enough to eliminate toxins and acids, then again, Have you removed your tonsils? Have you removed your appendicitis? Do you have lymphatic nodes that are still inflamed? Have you have any rashes, fungus, spots on the skin? It's again, these all are signs of stagnant and oversaturated lymphatic system. Liver, it's one of the engine of the detox, okay? It's not the most important organ, but it is important, it's the engine. Liver, if you have any sort of liver indication, like some digestion issue, bloating, gases, yellow skin, yellow eyes, spots on the skin, dark spots on the skin, this is full of toxins. Gallbladder and pancreas also are a regulatory organ, one of the regulatory organs that are important in detoxification. So that will automatically move you, shift you to the digestive system, okay? And then the kidneys. If all of these were going to, function properly, then you'll know that your pituitary gland is well. More elaborated. I'm going to go now to the pituitary gland, and with this, I think I'll be hitting, also a response for your next question. When you have renal filtration problems, and you do not have poop 3 times, and you have never had a colon cleanse or not enough colon cleanses, and I'm not talking about, water cleanse, what I mean, like hypercolon or whatever you call that. That's not even a proper cleanse, but it's good than nothing, all right? Then if you also have a genetic weakness, meaning that all these glands and organs that you have inherited weaknesses within do not have a full capacity of detoxifying, regenerating, then you'll know that you have a pituitary or hypophysis, as it's called, issues when you have had at least one of the following. You use contraceptives. You had miscarriages. You have swollen breasts during your messes. Some ovary issues, some uterus issues, for example, fibroids. If you have any type of cysts, either uterus cysts or ovary cysts. If you had dysregulated menstrual cessation or premature menstrual cessation, or it stopped suddenly, like in your case, if you had some sort of endometriotic adhesions or endometriosis or skin problems of any type, or urinary incontinence, this is pituitary. So you do have this in your history, your personal history, as well as the genetic history that you come from. So it has nothing to do with proteins and nothing to do with not eating properly. It has to do with your lymphatic load, okay? And if you go on evaluation, you do have problems on all the elimination channels. And again, I'm sending you to your general remarks. So on the gastrointestinal elimination channel, you are highly backed up lymphatically. This will take time to fix. If you fix this and you fix it to at least 70–80%, everything else will get moving and will get repairing itself. So everything starts with the gut. And when we say gut, we mean the entire gastrointestinal system and supporting organs of digestion. So I'm not talking only about stomach, I'm talking about small intestine, colon, I'm talking about the liver, gallbladder, and pancreas as well. Urogenital system, again, you are backed up. You have had very weak filtration, edemas, your glomerulus and nephrons were blocked. Okay, then lymphatically, only the lymph nodes will tell you everything. You may not have them now. They might have, withdrawn or got smaller or disappeared completely, but you have had a lot of load. Then your respiratory system, it's another elimination organ. That's a place from where we get oxygen run through the organs of the body, except what is being carried, the oxygen that is being carried by the blood. Yeah, and the fact that the skin is not very appealing. I mean, you have had not proper elimination there. You had some sweating, but was not exceptional. And only the fact that your skin is not very elastic, okay? And you have been on and off detox bouts, and the detox techniques you applied were not consistent. Sometimes too much or too fast, it's not what will help you. Slowly and steady will win the race. So the answer is you have not reached that level of elimination that will have such a positive impact on your endocrine system to work properly, where you must know that you have to clean thoroughly these 5 elimination channels in order for the rest, like lymphatic system, cardiovascular, osteoarticular, endocrine, and brain and nerves to fix. So basically endocrine and brain and nerves will fix the last. So you have way ahead of you. That was your first question. And I'm sorry that it took me so long. I've been very busy. This year I have had, some, I don't know if excruciating cases. It's enough that have solicited me time-wise and energy-wise a lot. Let's go to your second question. So your question was about the models. Many of them need to get in shape once they can step in the professional modeling industry. Many changes in their diets, where you said more, but not completely, plant-based, raw juices, veggie, etc. What I suggest, but then what happens, many of them lose their period, and some they are not getting in their period over a year and more. So they get to the doctors and get back on regular fatty foods, and period is back. So they tell me that they cannot adopt a healthy diet since they're losing their periods, and I don't know how to deal with this situation. Well, fat is for brain. Again, how they go on a detox plan, it's very important. It's very important that all these changes are incorporated progressively. You cannot completely change a diet for, I don't know, 2-3 months, 2 weeks, and not have some kind of, I don't know what to call it, like this thing with losing a period hit you back. That's simply because they are already very backed up. To what you're telling me, it's not the fat, it's the nervous system that controls them. Yep, so it will kind of like regulate them, because hypothalamus is a place where nervous system meets the endocrine system. It will stimulate it, but they still have problems. And what you need to ask them is if they have ever had a colon cleanse, because only the mucoid plaque is from 5 to 15 kilos, if not more. If they haven't had that, how they incorporated their changes, their diet changes. It has to be progressive. Second, there is no diet, detox fitting all. Not everyone can do the same thing, and time-wise, and also food-wise. Some need not only progressive, but a special attention given to their pancreas, liver, and gallbladder in terms of difficulties and congestions that they face there. There's a whole analysis that you need to do, like if they poop properly, how many times they poop a day, what is their blood pressure, if they ever had a history of urinary issues. It doesn't have to be necessarily infections. If they had a history of gastrointestinal issues, if they had a history of endocrine issues in the family, it all plays a role. I mean, genetics might not be the rising queen, but it can be, the thing that will not block you, but that will make you move slow. So when you lose your period, you are while you detox, you haven't had a very intelligent detoxification plan. It was very chaotic because there is a specific line when you do detox. That's why I don't put you in, 200 formulas on once. There is a specific path that you need to do. And I cannot teach you in a response in a video, even if I make it for 1 hour. You can have a look at your protocol and your mother-in-law protocol. The very last part is the complete protocol. You need to go through some stages to help this elimination. So yeah, when you are so backed up and nothing, you don't eliminate properly, what you do with this type of detox that, they engage is basically to steer things, to steer toxicity that will never come out properly. And of course, they will go and they will affect you on the endocrine scale. So yeah, there is never one single case to any problem that we face on the physical level. It's not only eating fruits that will help you. They will aid, but will not be the best situation to start with a generation that is very clogged. Then don't forget the skin. I bet that they use a lot of makeup and chemicals, so their elimination through the skin must be very limited, if not zero. Yeah. Also hair dyes. The more they use chemicals on the hair, the more blocked is their pituitary gland. Also, they need to check if they have ever had a history on endocrine line. And I can tell you again, it's easier for me to just list you a few, even put them to listen this, or you listen and make a note. Again, you know that your pituitary is congestion when you have some conception issues. When you take contraceptives, when you had miscarriages, when you had breast swollen or ovaries issues, uterus issues, menstrual issues like too much, too little, on and off, okay, endometriotic issues, skin problems, urinary incontinence. This is all pituitary. When you talk about thyroid and parathyroid, which again, they slow the weight loss in principle, is if they have cholesterol issues or if they have cholesterol links in their eyes. Obviously, you'll not be able to do that, or an radiologist will do that. if they have on and on depression issues, if they have brittle nails or hemorrhoids, if they ever had a spine issue of any sort. It doesn't have to be an accident, you know, or anything. If they bruise easily, if they have thrombosis, if they had ever have bone issues, joints issue, teeth issues, some sorts of nosebleeds. That, my dear, it's highly thyroid and parathyroid glands weakness. You don't need to have all this. It's enough to have one of that to know that you are backed up in your these glands. Then endocrine. On the endocrine, we'll address now the adrenal glands. In most of the cases, those people who cannot lose easily weight, or they have a hit back in their period, in sense that it stops for a while and it takes them a year to come back, is because of their adrenal weakness. How do you know they have adrenal weakness? Just ask them about pressure. If anything is below 120 with 60, either numbers, okay, then they are having adrenal issues. That means they lose, there is a high rate of inflammation in the body, and the body has difficulty of getting rid of these toxins, which creates an inflammation. And you know, they cannot easily lose weight unless they, you know, starving themselves, like 2-3 weeks of juicing. Yeah. So there is a history of inflammation, low renal function, which you cannot see it. I can see the diuresis, low or high potassium in the urine, a basal temperature, which is, you know, the armpit temperature is another indicator. Anything that is below 36.5 is adrenal baby. Anything that is lower than 120 with 60 blood pressures on both hands is adrenal baby. So genetic inheritance also plays a role. Fatigue, weak energy, if not always fatigued, that's adrenal. Another reason for endocrine weakness that stays at the root of the girls losing their period is pineal gland. Do they have sleeping problems? Of any sort, not necessarily to be, you know, like night walking. For example, one could be like wakes up at 3 o'clock and can not fall until 7-8 o'clock in the morning, but or they go to sleep and they wake up tired. That's calcified pineal gland. Nevertheless, all these issues are complex. And I believe also, you know, that it's not bad that they're trying to do detox, but each one is different. So you need all this data for you to judge and to elaborate on this. What I could suggest, because I don't know how, you know, like if these girls have issues, they want a personal iPad, you know, I can do like an iridology reading. If you have like, I don't know, 10, 12, 15, 20, I can do a better price from them, and just draw them, you know, temporarily weight loss, detox protocol. But again, there will be differences in this protocol. It's not one size fits all, because one of them might have, you know, a proper basal temperature, but very low blood pressure. Others can have a very good liver and very weak pancreas. It all comes together. So that's why I told you that I'll need, you know, time to do that, not because I needed to, you know, first of all, to have time to do almost an hour video. I think it came out now too. And it's not that easy to answer this, you know, in a simple answer that I usually give you on WhatsApp. Yeah, so now you have an answer. It's very complex and it's different. That's why you have girls who don't have problems. They're not backed up lymphatically. Maybe they have a stronger kidneys or not that clogged gastrointestinal system, or their elimination channels work properly. Maybe not the best, but properly. Maybe they don't use that many, creams and farts and whatever the girls put, for the show and hair stuff. I mean, I don't know how you're gonna pass this message. If you want to pass it down overall, it is a bit complicated to explain it to someone who doesn't have a real touch with detox. It's just, trying to, keep the weight on and off. But if you have any of the girls that want to address it properly, then we can do an iridology evaluation. I'll make a better price than what I charge now. If there are like, I don't know, a bunch of them, I'll see that. Or other than this, I would suggest you just on a very simple scale, you will use from Colovada, from Coral Club, excuse me, you'll always use in the first month Hydromax, and then followed by Colovada. So you will remove a lot of the waste from the colon, not all of it. And you can have them, eating fats. It doesn't have anything to do with protein and fats, it's where to place it, okay? And how much you can take it. I mean, they can have avocado every day. Is depending, what they do the rest of it. So yeah, I don't know how you want to address this. If you want to do like a collective addressing, or send one by one, or you don't want to bother at all, just suggest them 2 to 3 times a year to do a Hydromax, and then follow with Colovada. Any of them are good. They're all the best. I've got incredible results with all of them. And when they do, Colovada, suggest them to do it on juices. That will be shorter, smoother, and they'll remove a lot of waste when having Colovada 100% on juices for 2 weeks. I'm not sure if I, gave an answer for all of the cases that you have there, but basically it's this. Diet plays a role, how and when and how progressive it's used. Genetics play a role, elimination and lymphatic system plays a role, and also their overall history on all these things that I've discussed. So you will probably take a note from what I have listed here for them. I mean, for you to present to them and just ask them. Or easy peasy, just use, as I said, 2 to 3 times a year, thorough cleanse with Hydromax, then followed by Colovada. And then they can go on a vegetarian diet, but use, we never said that in detox we don't use fat. We use fats, but depending what you want to do. If it's to lose weight, you act with more greens than fruits. Because if they have a weak adrenal, weak pancreas, they'll not lose it easier. Whereas greens will help them continuously, clean the bowels. Then a little bit of exercise. You'll probably not put them on a detox plan. Yeah, so basically it's this: more fiber, more greens, and not necessarily juicing. Some of them do not act because they're too clogged. Too clogged meaning that if you go and you touch them with juices, everything will burst. And it doesn't have from where to come out properly. Kidneys, skin, respiratory, you know what I mean? Vagina, colon, they all go and, invade another organ. And that is the situation of the pituitary. Don't forget that the pituitary gland is strictly connected, with the transversal colon. Remember, the upper part of the body, it's connecting all the upper body organs and systems. So yeah, basically it's this. Okay, keep well. We'll talk soon.